All right, my friends, welcome back to your weekly roar. Brandon and I are here. My name's Dustin. If you haven't met me before, we are going to have a blast today. We've got so much to talk about. We always have so much to talk about. Let's be real. There hasn't been a week in the last 10 weeks that we have not had so much to talk about. And
hmm
so, again, we got so much to talk about today on this call. We're going to start with a couple things that are current news happening in the last week and how it affects us. Then we're going to dig into a little story that took place this past week that's going to really rock your worlds and kind of incite and encourage everybody. We're going to talk about where we're headed as a market, and then we're going to dig into some of the latest things we're revealing with R0AR and how you can get involved. And I know there's a lot of folks like on the edge of their seats about at least one of these topics. We will talk about the R0AR buyback vault on this call again, which you heard about on the last podcast. So, anyways, let's talk about current news. Brandon, what are you thinking about the Fed meeting?
Well, they cut rates, right? And that's a great thing. I know that that will encourage a lot of confidence with investors and in the economy, and it opens up opportunity for a lot of people. So I think it's a great thing.
I do. I mean, honestly, the economy is looking good.
Yeah.
People were wondering if the tariffs were going to knock us out and all that kind of stuff, and they're wondering about what happens with all of the layoffs at the federal level, and they're wondering what happens with all the shakeup with all of the immigration stuff, and what does it do to everything, and is our crops going to get picked? Are people going to get these jobs or leave them? Do we need robots and AI to replace people? What are we going to do? So it's really great whenever, and I say this all the time, whenever we see the unknowns
Mhm.
become knowns, it really is great to see the peace and the settling that happens with it. And in this market, there were a lot of unknowns coming into this new year, a lot of unknowns with the administration, a lot of unknowns with the economy, a lot of unknowns with policy. And now what we're seeing is more and more knowns. And things are starting to make sense. Even at the congressional level, they're like, okay, let's change the rules and just pass a bunch of people in. We trust this president's going to do what's best for the economy, for our nation. He hasn't totally destroyed everything. He's actually making things better. Our economy's making a comeback. The tariffs aren't shutting things down. Trade still happens. We actually are in a more strong position with other countries than we've been in forever. And all of that stuff is dialing down to making it very clear that
Mhm.
America is looking like it's making a comeback. Now, what does this mean for the rest of the world? Well, it's just that everybody's repositioning and getting on the bus. I think it's going to lead to a lot more stability in the world itself. It gives us opportunity for all of us to reset some things that were wrong in trade deals. But beyond that, it's going to actually probably affect everyone who's an ally of the U.S. in the long run to do really well in this next season. I'll tell you this, with what we're seeing, we've got enough folks pushing back against policy change and enough folks, pushing the right policy change that you've got that accountability in place. And I like where we're going. I really do. I think, honestly, that as we go forward, it just makes sense for America to make a comeback and take care of its, economy and its citizens. And then when that gets settled, for America to re-engage the conversation of making sure that its allies, that those closest to it, are in the same boat. So it's just like, you want to get your house in order first before you go out and build a new business. And that's what's going on. And I think we're starting to see that. And logically, for those that do math, numbers, and economy and run data all the time, like I do, we see that it's working. The economy's looking good. We're digesting all of those different weird things that are happening. And I think what we're going to see is, even through the end of this year, more of the same. I believe we're going to see more of the same with the Fed. We're going to see more of the same with unemployment rates, stabilizing the market, inflation stabilizing even more, tariffs having the right impact. I think everything's headed the right way. Eventually, hopefully, it'll help the narrative and conversation on Capitol Hill so they start being nicer to each other. That would be nice. Would love to see that happen. But for right now, We got to be grateful for what we got. And that is Jerome Powell decided to make the right decision. And he may be too late, but at least it's not too late for us. And it's fitting in with our narrative. Now, back to us with R0AR. If you remember back a year ago when we were on Amos and we're having events live, we're talking about some of these things and what they can do to affect where we're at. And most of you haven't been with us the long trajectory, the whole journey. But over a year ago, we laid out a scenario of what ifs. So the first what if was, what if, Trump got elected? And what if the government became more crypto friendly? And what if the government was able to figure out what to do with stable coins and create policy? What if the unknowns became known? What if we got passed into the next year and we started seeing rate cuts instead of rate increases? What if? And if you think about what we said, you could go back and look at our podcasts and our videos. We went all the way back to this date and said, what if right here, after a summer of a kind of a comeback for crypto and stabilization with some knowns being in place, we had that rate cut. We're here. It's exactly what we were talking about. And if that's the case, I just want to add this one more piece before I hand back to Brandon on our next thing is, my friends, we're looking for exactly what we were talking about for next month. Brandon, do you want to talk about what we said next month might be?
Next month, we said would be October.
Come on.
And it's looking like it's lining right up.
It's crazy.
I'm excited, man.
It's crazy. We always say, when's the altcoin season? I think we're probably already in it.
Yeah.
When's the next bull run? I think we're logically in it. When will, crypto be the talk of the town again? When do we know that it's, people are bullish again? That leads to the next thing we'll talk about today. A little story that happened this week. So I've said forever that when people are bullish about something, when you can't go anywhere and people will not be talking about it. And so more and more, I've been out, just even at restaurants, and I'll hear people giving their thoughts on Bitcoin or Ethereum, or a waiter or waitress will talk to me about it and not knowing what we do. And so that's been happening for weeks. Y'all, this week, I was going in for a meeting that my wife had scheduled with an investment group. I won't name names here because it's still a season where a lot of brands do not want to be associated with crypto yet, but that's changing. It's changing. Anyway, so I go in for a meeting, and it was really about me getting my estate in order and doing all the stuff I need to do and just making a plan, whatever. So I go to meet these folks, and before I go in, I just called to, confirm, hey, am I meeting so-and-so today for lunch? They said, oh, yes, we're excited to meet. And I thought to myself, we? Who's we? I'm meeting with a financial planner. What's going on here? And so then I thought, to myself, I need to figure out what's going on. So I framed it and said, next, am I meeting with the planner at a certain restaurant, or do I need to start at the office? And the person that answers the phone's the front desk said, at the office, meet us here. And so I was like, okay, great. So I go in the office, and you guys, they're like, hi, I'm so-and-so. It's nice to meet you. Are you, Dustin? Yes. And I'm like, okay, this is weird. And then they're like, you're with R0AR, right? And I'm like, yes. And then I realized they're on to something here. The next thing that happens, my friends, is they had set up a lunch and learn without telling me in an AMA, because the financial planner who was talking to me has gotten involved with what we're doing here with R0AR, got the mobile app, the wallet, done all the things, bought one R0AR, is in it, then told folks in the office, and it turns out every person in this big brand's office is in R0AR. My friends, what in the world? And they're like, we didn't know you lived local. And I'm like, I didn't know, I didn't know people would find me. I didn't know this is happening. You guys, something magical is happening for the world of crypto. I am not that big of a name. There are bigger names out there. I'm just saying, like, there's bigger brands, bigger names. Folks have been longer in this who have the right to be recognized in public. And like if I were to run into somebody from Base or Coinbase, it's like, oh my goodness, or Vitalik. If you run into him, Ethereum, oh my goodness, Polygon, Chainlink. I mean, even some of the early guys that were in some of the other chains, Hodgson and others, really cool. You see them, you know their faces or whatever. But guys, when folks are talking crypto in your communities and in the larger world, and they don't know you, and they got connected to your movement community from a person that plays golf with another person that lives in a state that's not even remotely near where you live, and they are under the understanding that you're living somewhere else than you live, and they're just like in awe that this is happening and they're a part of it. Guys, something's going on. Something's shifting in the sentiment of the world in America about crypto. Let me tell you some of the takeaways real quick before I move on from this story. Number one, they're talking about the fact that their big brand box, needs to be more involved in Web3 or crypto. And I agree. If you're out there and you're a big brand or a big bank, let me tell you something, you're going to miss out. You better get involved now. I mean, don't debank the crypto bros. Stop that. You're going to make them mad. Instead, find a way to pull them in and connect to their rails, because it's the future. Second thing is this: investment advisors get the idea that after what we went through in 2020 through 2024, we need other hedges against inflation, as well as people that pull a rug on our retirements. Can I just tell you, in the US, I don't know anywhere else, but in the US, if you're older and you live through 2020 through 2024 and you saved $1 million, but it only spends like it's 300,000, you had a rug pull. A worse rug pull than's ever happened in our history in crypto happened in the American reality. People that were told for 30 years of work that you could retire on $1 million found out that you may save $1 million, but it's only going to spend like 300,000. You best get a job at Walmart. And you guys, that's the thing. Like, there's hedges against that in crypto now. This is real. We're talking real. You don't have to just jump into gold and silver and stuff that's hard to deal with, like commodities. We're talking about the fact that when the dollar was being pressured because it's overprinted and inflation was happening, Bitcoin was worth more. And so was Ethereum and others. So I'm just saying that they're getting that idea. And they're like, hey, we need to have a constructive conversation on how we're involved in more than just buying a stock from a company that has this. We need to be in it. And then I raised the idea that there are groups out there, including BlackRock and others, they're creating tokenized assets, like we talked about. You guys, it went like fire. From that meeting, I got invites to speak other places and do more things. I can't even get into this. So from my experience, yes, the sentiment has shifted. America is no longer afraid of crypto. They're actually asking the right questions. If you're in crypto already, can I just pat you on the back? Good job. Feel my pat on your back. There it is. Good job. Here's the deal. You're part of the first 6% in the population of the world. 6%. 94% aren't in yet. There aren't enough projects and enough tokens to cover the requirement if 100% went in tomorrow. We need more projects. We need more developers. We need more opportunities. We need verifiable, trustworthy brands to show up with value that these folks can invest in. Because once the governance is done, there is 96% population pressure. This week, the news was leaked that there's a slight possibility, there's a glimmer, that China is going to allow folks to get involved in crypto again. You guys, now we're talking. So I'm not out here to pump R0AR. I'm out here to pump the world up. We should get excited. And you guys, I'm pumped. When you go out to eat, or you're hanging out at your kid's ball game, or you're just in public and community, or you're in the checkout line at Walmart or wherever, and all of a sudden people are talking crypto or Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever, the sentiment changed. So, yes, I believe we're in for an October. If we're wrong, oh well. I don't give financial advice. I'm just telling you what I see. And it's not based on hopium, it's based on the activity we see with the Fed. It's based on the activity we're seeing, whatever, in our markets and in our systems, and what we're seeing even in our own node sales and more, raising 1.5 million in 3 weeks. That's insane. The sentiment has changed, and now we're hanging out in our local communities, and investment advisors want us to talk about how's this stuff work, train us on all the details. And we just sat down and had an AMA, and I taught them about blockchain, tokenization, RWA, and so much more. And guys, now I'm invited to more, and there's more to come. We got more meetings on the schedule already with more groups like that. Not joking. Brandon, is that not insane? Thoughts?
Brother, I'm just excited. Like when you told me that story, it's a little bit humbling, honestly, to be a part of this project and then to have something like that happen where it wasn't one of our friends that, told somebody or what, it got around, the word spread organically. And I love that. I love that people are discovering us and they're finding out what we're doing because what we are doing is changing the world. It's changing Web3. It's making it better. It's making it safer, making it easier for everyone. And I think it's awesome. I can't wait to see everybody get in.
I'm with you. I was floored, so humbled because they're like, oh, yeah, I have one roar. I've got the wallet. And they're pulling out their stuff and showing me. I'm like, wow, like you really do. It's crazy. It's
Wasn't the
crazy.
one lady that took our crypto U class?
Oh yeah, yeah. There's one of the investment advisors turned and said, everything I know about crypto is because I was in the crypto U class. Which plug for crypto U. If you
Mhm.
haven't gotten in it, you need to find out about it. Head over to R0AR and find it. Where can they find it, Brandon?
It's R0AR.io. Go down to the bottom footer and crypto U is right there. You click it, you register, it sends you an email and you're in.
There you go. And we're working on Crypto U 2.0 right now.
Mhm.
Crypto U 1.0 is all about learning some of the basics of the technology, security, safety, things we bring out here, but better developed and talked about.
Mhm.
Crypto U 2.0, you guys, we're building it out as we go. Because as we roll out software that actually does certain functions, we want you to learn those because it's not just important for R0AR, it's important everywhere.
Mhm.
So again, we've always said we want to pump the entire market, all of the good projects that are out there, not the bad ones, but the good ones. And we're in their corner. We really are. At the same time, get into R0AR because we're going to rock this thing. Okay.
Speaking of software that does something,
Yes.
you want to take it?
It's just that pause before the big punch that's so exciting.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
see it coming in the boxing. It's like, here it comes, knockdown punch. Here it is. You've been wanting it. You've been after it. You've been asking for it. The PR went out this past week, and you're like, I need it now. The R0AR buyback vault is here. Guys, so excited for y'all. Here's what we've done and what we're doing. I want you to understand the why and the what. So the first thing is we took a lot of time beta testing. So there's no issues because what we've built is new technology.
Mhm.
So there are things that we have built inside this technology that are akin to what Chainlink does for other chains and oracles and bridging information. So we have our own internal oracling built in that bridges information from Ethereum to our chain. So in essence, at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, we're ready. We will be our own oracle for the R0AR chain itself, and we'll share that out with others like Chainlink and more. But you guys, we're building it. We're building it our way with accuracy that is to our chain. So it's built into it. And then on top of it, you got to have that pricing data work just right. You got to have the logic work just right. And then you got to have functionality with the smart contract that's in the blockchain. Normally, you would do that through either the scan online software, running the smart contract there. It's clunky and hard to do, and only devs fully understand it, like me. or you're doing it through Remix or another application through it where you're loading that contract, you're doing it, but it's clunky and weird and there's room for mistakes. We have built into our technology one-click function like we're doing everywhere. So in essence, when you see this buyback vault, there's two pieces of software we built new that has not existed that's in it. And you're going to utilize it and it's going to build up our chain. I'm going to tell you what you're going to win from it, but let me tell you why it's important to know what's behind it, because that's going to build into what we do for our development support. So developers, if you're out there, or end users and businesses, we're building the solutions and the applications and the how-tos, the templating in what we build so that we're able to roll it out for you easier. Things that would have taken years or a lot of money to get someone else to be your oracle or a piece of this pie, now we can do with one-click accuracy. Anything we can build, we can template, and we can one-click it because of AI and what we do. Guys, that's just the reality. So when you see a software rollout, we're going to talk about what's built in behind it because it matters. It matters when we launch our coin list for projects that are on our chain. It matters for when we launch our NFT listing services, which on our chain. It matters for software I haven't even leaked yet, although I just leaked two right there.
I was
I'm
gonna say
just
you're
going to
leaky right
say,
now, bro.
woo! And the software that's behind it is like incredible, you guys. Like each one of those things I just leaked a little bit about. We're so excited. But did we not tell you that we have 10 weeks of things to release? I mean, my Atlanta, we have 10 weeks of things you're going to have to hear about. It's coming. So, back to this point with the buyback vault. We're buying back R0AR tokens on our chain. We talked about it last week. If you want to hear all the details, go back to last week and listen to it. But we are incentivizing our community and new members to come over with their R0AR tokens they already have, sell them to us at a 1% premium over what the market says. And we may even mess with that premium over time because we can't. We get to change it however we want. There's going to be a token burn aspect built into it. It's already built in, but we're going to have it where it's a part of that buyback. So we're buying back at a premium and burning some at the same time, my friends. What we want is TVL to come in our chain and stay there. That's why I have a burn. And then we want to bring the R0AR over. So instead of just unlocking R0AR in our ecosystem and bringing it over ourselves to add value to the chain, we're inviting you to. Why will we do that? Transactions go up, wallets get attached, and we grow our ecosystem. So we're going to reward you for increasing the growth in our ecosystem. We'll reward our community first. And if you're just joining the community, you're not locked out of this. You can also get some R0AR and bring it over, bridge it over, and whatever. Here's what we agree we're going to do, what you're seeing. We have walkthrough videos for you to go through so you can see the walkthrough of the bridge, because our bridge is a little different. And we've got walkthrough videos for how to use the R0AR buyback vault. Right now, everything is purchased through Ethereum. We have USDCE built in, but we have paused on pushing it out as the trade mechanism because we want to make sure that you can bridge it back to the Ethereum blockchain completely. So USDCE is on our chain. It is our stable coin. And until the OP team approves it to be going back and forth between the two chains, we're going to leave it as our stable coin here. We know that Ethereum can bridge back very easily through our bridge. And so we're releasing that immediately. So you will literally sell your R0AR. You're going to get Ethereum equal to a dollar amount that is over that percentage. It'll be 1% or better at this point. And then you're able to bridge it back from the chain, do whatever you want with it. Awesome. And you have just helped transfer R0AR to our chain. You've attached your wallet to us and you've given us cred. And we're rewarding you for it. So I'm just excited. I mean, I think this is one of the most exciting things because this is where we start bringing our TVL on, growing our transactions, proving that we're a community standing by this, as well as bringing a resource to the chain that we'll be able to utilize and unlock through the treasury for rewarding even more function. So for the developers coming over, there are huge announcements over rewards that are coming out of what we're buying back. We're buying it back so we can reward more. This is so fun. What are your thoughts, Brandon?
Oh, brother, I am excited. Like, this is a big deal. It's going to do everything that you said it would do, and it ultimately benefits the community. It's win, 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 win for everybody. This is the right thing, and I think more projects should look at things this way. You
Yeah,
know, they should really consider benefiting their community first. This
mm,
isn't a manipulation of a token. It's not all the things that people do out there, the shady stuff, right? This is doing it the right way, bringing it over to our chain, encouraging the community.
that's it. I mean, it's all about that utility and function.
Mhm.
And if you guys just join us in this, we'll reward you greatly. And then I'm going to go ahead and leak something that I need to leak. When your wallet comes over to our chain in any amount, so when you interact with our chain through the bridge and or the buyback vault or anything else you do on our chain, do know we are capturing that information and
Mhm.
it will be snapshotted and it will be a part of our final airdrop in 2026. Think about that. Whitelisting for some of our next projects that go out, your
Mhm.
wallet will be in it. If you have thought, man, I haven't been an OG in this, I wish I was an OG somewhere. Two ways to become an OG in ROAR. Two ways to become an early adopter right now. Node sales. You can get in our nodes, get a node. Node sales. Hit our R0AR.io website, R0AR.io. Right at the top, click node sales, jump in, read about it, find out about it, do it. You can be an early adopter there. And then number two, interact with our blockchain. As a developer or a user, bring one ROAR over, sell it to our buyback vault, or just bridge anything. Bridge your Ethereum, bridge your ROAR, and you will be captured in that snapshot. Early users. Right now, we're in the very low number of users because we've only been out of beta. I want to say since July. It was
That's
July.
right.
We left beta on our chain. So we're now here and we're out of beta and we probably haven't even broken 100 wallets yet. You want to be an early adopter? Do it now because we are going to radically incentivize that activity for the rest of our days. And our platforms that you get to use because your wallet functions with our chain are insano. So come join us, walk through it. Now, besides that, we're growing that adoption. We're growing our node sales are incredible. We're growing our chain use. We're growing the wallets attached. I mean, overall in the one ROAR or the ROAR ecosystem, we're over 10,000 wallets now. Whether it's
Mhm.
ERS NFTs, node sales, and one ROAR, we're over 10,000 in our community, my friends. That's when it happens. We said forever. You break that 10,000 wallets, something's going on. So, anyways, we've done that. And now, what are we announcing next? What do we just announce PR on, Brandon?
Brother, we are about to pour back into the community even more. We're investing 100,000 in one roar on the roar chain for community and social fi, yapping, content creation, and all kinds of stuff. That's what our PR is talking about. This is something everybody should get involved in, right?
The thing is that our PR. If you want to go look at it, and we'll have a blog post up to match it, so you can look. It'll have your ways that you can be involved. But if you're out there and you're doing social fi, you're yapping, you're doing content creation, even if you're in Discord and you're doing our meme stuff,
Mhm.
which you guys, you Discord guys, y'all are my favorite. Y'all are insane. Some of these memes, my lands, I'm laughing so hard. I'm just, you're killing it. You're killing it. You're my favorite, you know, guys out there. The yappers, you guys are crushing our activity. Our engagement on X and everywhere is insane. And that really speaks to our community, some of our mods and devs that are out there, and our admins. Thank you all for what you're doing. I won't call their names out. They like to keep it low key, but you know who they are if you're in their groups in Discord and over on X. These things are fire, and we're only going to throw gas on that fire. So, you know, in when you're hearing it, you're like, 100,000 US dollars worth of one roar on roar chain. You're really doing that. Yes, we really are. Why would we do that? Because number one, we want to bring adoption to our chain. But number two, now that you're able to get it on and off, you can do whatever you want with it. It's your reward. We understand some folks are going to take that win and go. Some folks are going to say, I'm going to save it and see what happens. Some are going to invest it back in. but at the end of the day, it's yours. And our chain is cheapest. It's cheaper than, working with. I'll be honest with you, it's cheaper than Ethereum by like 1/100th.
Yeah.
It is what it is. That's why layer twos rock. We need Ethereum. We're up here doing our work, transactional, and we're saving you 99% of what you're spending or what is spent on Ethereum. And down here on the Ethereum chain, that's where it's consensus layer and it's locking in the transaction. So we need Ethereum. It's not about not need them. And we pay our dues to that. There's fees that go in between because we do that.
That's right.
However, our chain is cheaper. Everything I've done is less than 2 seconds. If you've done any transactions anywhere, there's only a couple chains that may be up to that time frame. And I'm not talking about it saying this transacting. I'm talking about actual completed transaction, one to another wallet, trade, whatever. It's like seconds. Even smart contracting that can be more complex, that can sometimes take Ethereum 15 to 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. It could take Solana a big chunk of time. And they got a huge throughput. I'm telling you, it'll do it in seconds. So it's in our best interest to put everything we can on our chain, encourage you to utilize it, and incentivize you to utilize it because you're going to save money and save time and save headaches and make more. That's a no-brainer, my friends. So, yeah. And by the way, we're in the final details of some of the conversation on what it takes to make our token like direct to on-ramp and off-ramp itself. USDC is already on our chain because of that reason. So it makes it super easy. So from our chain, we can do everything. We are filling out all of those little pieces so you don't have to transfer, pay a fee, wrap it to another one, swap and bridge it, or even pay incredible spreads on one of our competing exchanges out there who always say, hey, we're the easiest because we have our own blockchain and you can utilize it and then you can honor it. No, because the spreads are so big, you're being feed to death. Our fees don't exist. They're very minimal, fractions of pennies for what you're doing. So it's in your best interest. If you're out there and you're in our community, we're rewarding you on our chain in R0AR to those values on purpose. It's coming on purpose because we want to make sure that the most of what we put in this goes into you, not all of the ecosystems out there that take a fee, cut, or spread. I'm just saying, we're for you. All right. Boom. Boom. What else is coming?
That's awesome. There was some folks that got in on season 1 of the platform, the R0AR platform, and maybe they got stuck because they didn't get out in time. It's okay. We're going to do an unlock for 48 hours. Make sure they have plenty of time to get things out, move around. It's not lost. A lot of people have been worried about that. It's not lost. We're going to give you those 48 hours. Go in, move it out, take care of it. And then you can go to season 2, which is on our chain.
Boom. Boom. So we take care of our community. A lot of folks have reached out for just different little things. And if you've had any issues, reach out in our community in Telegram and Discord, especially Discord, and they'll get a ticket to us. Mm-hmm. And we may not respond quickly. The mods and admins will, but we're going to work on it and put it into our whole list and figure out how we can fix what's going on. And so there's not a lot of folks. It's actually a very small amount of folks, just a few, that missed out on unstaking their stuff on that platform. And what Brandon's saying is that we're going to do an unpause. Now, what he didn't say, and I want to fill in the blanket with this, we're going to give you 1 to 2 weeks upfront notice when that unlock unpause happens for 48 hours. So you can put it in your calendar, know it's coming, take care of that for the few who still have stuff in there. And again, it's on you to get in there and do it. So please turn your notifications on X and make sure you're paying attention inside of all of our communities. But when it starts, you got 48 hours. Just unstake it out of season 1. And this will overlap season 2 going live. And season 2 will be live just as soon as we digest the changes from dealing with the R0AR buyback vault and the bridge and everything, because we know there's a lot of questions coming. We want to support that well. And then season 2 is on its heels. And what we're going to do in season 2 is we're going to reward you for staking and farming. You know how it works on our chain. So that's the biggest thing Brandon said. It's going to be on our chain. We're for you. This is better for you. You paid higher fees when we did on Ethereum. You didn't get as much as you could have gotten. Guess what? We have reserved this for you. And for some of our OG community that had lockup that they couldn't claim, we did this way for you. So if you're out there and you're claiming your R0AR right now, we held on to the maximum amount we had allotted for rewarding on the R0AR platform in season 2 on our chain for your R0AR. So maybe you want to hold on to your R0AR, because once you're able to go over and do that and stake it, you may not want to sell it all. You may want to stake it and stake and farm, and you're going to help us secure our ecosystem, raise our TVL. We will reward you. Guys, R0AR rewards what it wants replicated. So we want replication of these steps. We're going to reward it greatly. Come join us. This is an exciting season. By the way, this last year journey you've been with us, that's just the early part. Now the software is being released. This is the fun part. So welcome to the fun part. Again, it's only been 2 weeks since we said we got 5 weeks of big news and then 5 more weeks of releases and news, 10 total weeks. So we still have 8 to go. And guess what else? During those 8, so many more exciting ways to utilize your R0AR, your ERS NFTs, and more. This is going to be pumped up. Man, I'm pumped, Brandon. I don't know about you.
I'm bullish on R0AR, brother.
I'm bullish on R0AR. Woo!
Maybe that's just because I know what's coming and I've seen some of it, and I'm super excited.
You may have a little bit of insider information.
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah, we get to see the whole plan. You guys see just a little bit of a runway on that roadmap, but it's always our exciting, it's always our joy to underpromise and overdeliver. So that roadmap is an underpromise. It may take us a minute more to do certain things than we thought, but when they're delivered, they're always more than we said and better. And so I'm super pumped. I love this part. Okay, we got to wrap this up. You guys are incredible for being on with us. Again, be super excited. October's on the way, we hope. Everybody pray. And as we head into it, I can't wait to see what all these announcements do for our October. We're really 3 weeks away from an announcement I think that's going to shock and awe the entire crypto world.
I know you want to leak it.
I know, but I'm not.
If people will just listen long enough, you'll leak everything.
I know. It's just so much fire.
It's exciting.
Burn, baby, burn. Okay, I got to go. Guys, we love y'all. Have a great rest of the week. We'll see you next time. And don't forget, Lions, it is time to roar.
Take care, everybody. Thank you.
I see y'all.